DJ Akademiks got a call from a really well-known music executive to warn him that he's not crazy, and there are some really powerful people actually after him.
It's a semi-monologue. I got some interesting calls in the last week, and I know I haven't streamed that much, but one of the calls I got, I won't tell you from who. Maybe you were able to deduce who, but I won't confirm or deny. But it's really one of the most powerful people in the music business. And this person called me, and this person said, "Hey, Ak, I just I just got put up on speed on some of the stuff you've been going through, some of the stuff you've spoken on. And I seen a recent sit down, and I said I got to reach out to my guy Ak because I seen they were trying to label you as manic." Now, this is one of the most powerful guys in music, flat out. I just won't say his name. Maybe you'll figure out who. He says, "Ak, I had to reach out to you to tell you you're not crazy. Dude, I'm going through the same thing."
The executive that called DJ Akademiks, his name is Larry Jackson. If you guys don't know who Larry Jackson is, he was, famously the creative director, I think, at Apple Music, and he's responsible for the Drake and Apple Music partnership initially. Now, he started his own company called Gamma, which I believe was like a label or like this new format of distribution. Now, when he started Gamma, some very powerful people in the music industry didn't like it. So because they didn't like it, they began to put up these like AI anonymous websites and just spread falsehood and lies about him to steer artists and other industry people away from Gamma and away from Larry Jackson. Larry Jackson recently filed a lawsuit to uncover who was behind the anonymous websites. So he's currently in that lawsuit trying to uncover it. So he calls Akademiks and tells Akademiks, "Listen, the people who are after you, I believe they're also responsible for that fake website and the fake accusations against me. And it's no mistake that, the same people who are after you were my direct competitors, which is Roc Nation. Like Roc Nation launched like Roc Nation distribution. Almost everybody and their mama called them out for it. It was like hella predatory. Russ called them out. Everybody called them out. So Larry Jackson is calling Act like, bro, you're not crazy. These people, right, who was my competitors, as soon as like Gamma started to take off and become like the premier option, like next to like United Masters, all of a sudden I'm being smeared, I'm being like torn down, and he believes that Roc Nation is also behind it. So when he called Akademiks, he just told Akademiks, "Yo, listen, like I know that Charlamagne the God is calling you manic in that interview. Like I know that like Joe Budden is also like calling you manic. Don't let them convince you that there's not this conspiracy or that these people are too high and mighty to worry about you. No, this is their MO." And Akademiks broke down how this conversation went and his thoughts after hearing that.
Now, I'm beating around the bush here because I don't want to just throw out names. But I want to just parallel, because the things that he even divulged to me that was going on to him, and I said, "Why don't you say this?" And he said, "Well, I deal with it differently. I'm dealing with it legally. I don't need to speak on it publicly, but I'm dealing with it legally." And he told me some stuff. I'm like, "What? That's happening?" Whatever. And he said, "Ak, what you need to realize that we're in uncharted territory. The games that's being played and how people are getting at people it's unprecedented. But there's really only one entity that's playing on that level." And he said, "I called you just to let you know, if you ever need legal help, if you ever need whatever, I'm here to back you up. Because trust me." And by the way, without, I don't want to dox him. Not necessarily dox him, but I don't want to. But he said, "Didn't you see some stuff pop up about me? And it looks so beautiful and so good." Where did that come from? This is what this person said too. He said, "Ak, when you expose that they came at you and they're using an AI article, they made a whole AI website about me. They didn't even use my picture. It was an AI generated thing."
This is the website with the AI article against Larry Jackson. Now, they made several accusations against him. They called him a scammer. They also said that Larry Jackson, all he does is like raise money and then exits. They claim that he doesn't retain his clients. He says that Usher signed with Diddy, one project and then gone. that French Montana allegedly streaming fraud and fan complaints following his Gamma deal, that Rich the Kid had one project cycle with Gamma, left quietly with no announced exit, claims that Mariah Carey released one project with Gamma and departed without fanfare, claimed that Four Bats signed by Boo, wanted to sign an OVO, but Larry Jackson blocked it. Essentially claiming, yo, every client that Larry Jackson has had, he found a way to F over, which is just not true. They even claim that Larry Jackson like money laundered some of his clients' money. So they made like a lot of accusations, essentially trying to like, well, sway away, like future investors away from Gamma. And then also their goal was to tell like these rappers and these clients, yo, stay away from Gamma, bruh. Nah, Gamma ain't good. Every artist that work with Gamma, they have had issues. Now, most of these things in his article was all lies. Like, most of the accusations were just flat out lies. Like, you could literally do your fact check and find out it's all lies. And Larry Jackson kind of like lists out the lies in his lawsuit. But they created this website anonymously, and they took like immeasurable like measures to hide their identity, clearly and obviously because what they were doing was foul, wrong, and just outright illegal with the lies. So now you're seeing the people who did this to Larry Jackson. Well, similar AI articles launched against Akademiks and Drake a couple of days before Akademiks sit down with Charlamagne the God. Right? And then Charlamagne the God used those same AI articles to go at Akademiks. Now, I don't think, so first off, I don't think Charlamagne the God had anything to do with them AI articles. However, the AI articles that just conveniently are writing write-ups about all the accusations that Roc Nation is accusing Grand Wizard and Akademiks of is no coincidence, right? So once Larry Jackson called Akademiks about this, Akademiks now began to kind of like connect the dots like, wait, hold on. The same exact play they ran on you, they're running it on us. But they're just they're calling you a scammer. They calling us a scammer. They're saying you are money laundering. They saying we money laundering crypto money on behalf of Polymarket and Stake. Akademiks will reveal that the Larry Jackson and Roc Nation beef actually started a long time ago. It actually started during the conception of Tidal. See, when Jay-Z started Tidal, he relied on his relationships with other artists that he could kind of draw in. He brought in Kanye, he brought in Rihanna, he brought in Nicki Minaj, he brought in a lot of hip hop artists, promised them equity into Tidal. In exchange, they will give exclusives to only Tidal. So, for example, if you are a new streaming platform and a really major artist like Kanye and Rihanna and Nicki Minaj, if they say, hey, my album is only dropping on Tidal for 1 week, that's gonna boost the subscribers to that streaming platform because your favorite artist is only gonna be here exclusively for 1 week. So you could wait a week or listen to their album this week by signing up. So Jay-Z essentially brought in a bunch of artists. One artist he really wanted was, the biggest artist on the planet, which was Drake. Now, Jay-Z thought he had Drake in the bag, but then Larry Jackson, who was the creative director for Apple Music, he stepped in and convinced Drake to sign to Apple Music for millions of dollars.
Well, he said, check this out. I'll give you this interesting tidbit. Well, 10 years ago, there's about 13 or 14 artists that line up on stage alongside Jay-Z. And they're there for the Tidal announcement. And it was everybody. One artist says, you know what? I'm not going to get on that stage. And I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm going to go another way. There's some disruptors that's moving some shit over there. Happens to be at Apple Music. And I'm going to get with them. And I get it. Y'all are talking some equity stuff over there, but they're going to give me $20 million. I put my album on there for 7 days. That slight was never forgotten. Remember, Drake got snatched up, okay, from underneath the person who felt like he was the Don Dada, biggest mogul, Jay. Drake didn't get down. Now, if you think that Drake is the only one who feels the brunt of that type of, reaction afterwards, what about the guy who wrote the check, who did the cosign and made the play to get Drake? You see what I'm getting at? Anyway, that happened then. You would think that I'm talking about something that just happened 10 years ago. But if I tell you that in the last couple of years, on a music side of things, when I mention Bobby Shmurda, when I mention Lil Uzi Vert, when I mention Meg Thee Stallion, what Roc Nation is trying to be is literally the new realm of distribution. It's this artist type of like, they want to kind of like upend major labels, but mostly on some, okay, you're getting over here with J and them. Don't believe me? Roc Nation announces distribution. Remember, this came out. Also, this didn't go along well.
And the funny part about this too is when you look at the website and all the accusations they made against Larry Jackson, damn near all those accusations could probably be attached to Roc Nation. Like Bobby Shmurda have made these accusations against them. And Nicki Minaj have claimed they stole money from her. She didn't get paid her cut. And so all the accusations they levied against like Larry Jackson, if Roc Nation did do this, you could very well say those allegations apply to Roc Nation and Jay-Z. All right? So like, right? So if you're Larry Jackson and you're sitting back and you're like, bruh, all the reasons why people don't want to go to Roc Nation distribution are the exact reasons like they tried to attach to me and or the defamation claims they made against me. But he can't prove as Roc Nation. He can't prove that somebody at Roc Nation did this because it's anonymous. So he's currently going through the court case. So when he's watching that Charlamagne the God's in Akademiks an interview and he's sitting back and he's hearing Charlamagne tell Ak, wait, huh? Like, what are you talking about? Huh? Like, that'll make sense. He's sure, bro? Like, I think you're manic. He's also being told the same thing because they're attacking him with a sleight of hand. Like, they're attacking him behind AI articles, AI profiles, anonymously, hiding behind the shadows, getting things done. And then when you accuse them of doing it based on common sense, nah, you crazy, bro. What's going on? So he's sitting back and watching what Akademiks is going through and said, nah, they're running the same play on me. Ak, don't get fooled. Don't let them convince you you're manic. Don't do that. And I do think this kind of bolsters Akademiks' claims because if Larry Jackson is somebody who Joe Budden respects, who Charlamagne the God respects, who a lot of people in the industry respects. So if Larry Jackson is telling Ak, you're not crazy, they're doing the same thing to me, these people are evil, I would like to see Charlamagne come out or Joe Budden come out and say, Larry Jackson, you're lying. Now, Ak never said Larry Jackson's name, but I hope Akademiks do say it at some point because that does lend a hint of credibility to what Akademiks is saying.
Right? Remember, they have a Roc Nation distribution dashboard, right? When this came out, artists like Russ and other people, they were like, yo, this is a bad deal. United Masters, or if you go with like TuneCore, or you go with what's the other distribution thing? They were like, you get better terms. Essentially, again, I'm trying to make a long story short. Roc Nation was trying to get into distribution. It got slammed by critics. It got slammed by even artists that were knowledgeable. You guys could do the math here. There is a new type of label that is doing exactly what Roc Nation wanted to do. They have focused on distribution in a different way outside of the majors. Let's just say maybe it's called Gamma. I don't know. Put it like this. The loss that Roc Nation ultimately took 10 years ago, they didn't forget. And they're realizing again, 10 years later, when the same person who's in the midst of this is now also creating a competitor that is doing a lot better than what they're doing currently. I don't need to spell it out for y'all, but I pray for them. They pray for me. I pray for Drake. They pray for Nicki. Like we all, it's an interesting thing, but I got called and comforted by, again, this is when I just not even say his name. You'll know who it is.
Akademiks is not manic. And I don't think anybody truly believes that Akademiks is like making all of this up and Roc Nation is completely innocent. I feel like the only problem is that Akademiks has is, Akademiks is a really great orator. And clearly, like, I can't talk. I have a speech impediment. Like, he's a really great orator. Like, Akademiks knows how to talk. But I feel like when it comes to storytelling, Akademiks just, it's just, it's too long-winded. Right? Like, even this story right here, this was this was like a 15-minute clip. Like, most people ain't waiting towards the very end act to like get, you feel me? Like, Act could have told this story in 5 minutes. Like, Act could have said, the same dude who signed Drake to Apple Music and took Drake away from that title deal, that dude gave me a call and warned me against Roc Nation. By the way, that dude and Roc Nation, they're currently competing partners in this new distribution format. And by the way, that same dude who Roc Nation is like now making public enemy number one, that same dude is now having random AI articles pop up slandering him the same way random AI articles is popping up slandering me. Now, what's the common denominator here? Both of us are enemies of Roc Nation. Done. Right? But Act said, like, long story short, about 20 times during this, you feel me? It was just too long-winded. I feel like, if Akademiks just found a way to make his Roc Nation arguments just more concise, just to it, like, I had to cut out, like, a bunch. Like, when I'm reacting to this, I had to cut out, like, probably, like, 2 minutes at a time just to, just for Act to get to the point. I feel like, if Act does a better job at just tell the story, bro. Just get to the story. Tell the story. To me, they'll be much better off, and that'll kind of make people understand your point. But if you're going to spend like a 20-minute clip on explaining how Roc Nation and Larry Jackson, you feel me? It's just like, I don't know, man. But shout out to Act, bro. Again, I 100% believe that Act is telling the truth. Y'all let me know what y'all believe. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, or here, or here, somewhere on my screen to find out why exactly Andrew Tate is 100% cooked after this new update. Bro might do life in prison, like, to be honest. I'm going to see you guys in this Andrew Tate video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.